Well, thank you so much for joining us on this special edition of Fox 24 News Now as we all gear up to celebrate America's 250th. Well, we're coming to you from Explore Charleston, right off of Meeting Street in the heart of downtown Charleston. And as the nation does celebrate 250 years since its founding, Charleston is taking center stage. Well, let's welcome our guest, Katherine Pemberton. She is the Chief of Education for the SC 250 Commission, and Bennett, he is the President of SC 250 Charleston. Thank you so much for coming out here and making us feel very much at home.
Thank you.
I feel like we've been talking about this for years now, haven't we?
We've definitely been planning for a long time.
This has been big. Yeah. But why, so let's talk a little bit about how Charleston is really the epicenter for so much of the 250 celebration.
Well, I think especially this year, 2026, and we go back 250 years ago to 1776, the involvement of South Carolina in the American Revolution really begins in Charleston, and specifically Charleston Harbor. In late June 1776, the Battle of Fort Sullivan. So I think we're really kicking off here a multi-year celebration, but for this year we're sort of kicking off of several weeks in June and early July of Revolutionary War commemorations, and it is something that is spread out really across Charleston County. It's not just downtown. These events and celebrations and commemorations are going on everywhere.
Well, as the president, you must have learned a lot during this process. So what has that experience been like since we have been talking about it for so long, and now all of a sudden it's here. Here we are. We're going to be celebrating July 4th any minute now. So what does that feel like for you and everything that you've done?
It's nice to see so many of these programs and events starting to come into their own. You know, the planning has taken a long time. I'm so pleased and proud of all of the involvement from members of our community, both large organizations and small churches, large churches as an example, the museums, the historical sites and homes. Everyone has come together to sponsor and to promote, their offering and special programs. And they all have great stories to tell. Even for persons who've lived here a long time, there's almost always something new that they're learning or didn't know beforehand.
Isn't that true? You can really be a visitor in your own homeland. And you already touched on this a little bit, but when people think of America's founding, they often think of places like Philadelphia or Boston, but Charleston is unique, isn't it?
It really is, and I think it's been long overlooked. Congress finally decided to include Charleston's contributions. We're one of 4 signature cities in America to have special commemorations this year. So Boston, Philadelphia, New York, and Charleston, which were the 4 largest cities in British North America. Charleston was the wealthiest per capita for its port. And so obviously a very important place.
This has been a wonderful opportunity for all the kiddos out there, both young and older, who really do need to know and learn about their nation's history, right? So have there been special programs? Are there going to be special programs as we continue through this year-long celebration?
Well, I guess in the summer, the kids are out, but the Department of Education has a great program going on through its Palmetto Civics Project. There's a little passport that kids can do all across the state with stuff. Locally, I think every kid should get out and kind of explore their area, but definitely come to Charleston for these next few weeks because we have so much to offer. We've got storytelling, we've got kid exhibits, we have education, activity books, we've got programs in churches, we have concerts. I think there's something for every age.
So you can go to different places throughout the Low Country and really have kind of a hands-on experience that's tangible.
Absolutely. I mean, it surrounds us in a way that it may not in other areas of certainly the country, but even former 13 colonies. And so, in fact, I was talking with a gentleman today, and he was discussing that very thing. He's walking the streets, and he feels it just being in a place where there has been so much history.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not sure who to ask this question to, but Revolutionary City. So what is that?
That really, I think, comes to mean that there's going to be activities throughout the city and the county, but particularly July 1st through 3rd. SC250 and SC250 Charleston, and a lot of our partners are going to be at Marion Square.
Okay.
And we'll have things here at Explore Charleston in the Visitor Center, like those passports. And there'll be a lot going on at different access points throughout the city. So that's a great time.
There are various exhibits, demonstrations, presentations, things for everybody.
What are you hoping people take away from this experience?
A greater appreciation for the hardships that people before us endured to establish our nation.
Indeed, and to turn it into a place that we all love and celebrate our neighbor. And it's a wonderful community here. Well, I want to thank you both so very much. And you mentioned passports. We're going to be talking about that coming up after the break. So don't go anywhere, anybody. We'll be right back.